Breakups are unpleasant events that no one wants to experience, but they are sometimes inevitable. While we are in love, we find it difficult to believe that something will ever go wrong, or rather, we choose to ignore the signs. It is possible to become so attached to a person that despite the hurts and wrongs we suffer in the relationships, we still choose to hold on to them. Why? Well, there is the stigma of not having a working relationship aside from the brokenness, pain, hurt, anger, and resentment that usually follows. However, not all breakups end badly. Some actually be blessings in disguise. For one, if the relationship does not work out, it might be a sign that it was never meant to be in the first place. So there is no need to cry over spilt milk. When one door closes, another will open up for you, and what you think of as misfortune can later work out in your favor. You need to get out of that depression and step into the light. No matter how dark your situation is right now, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. You might have given your all, invested so much in the relationship, even boasted to friends and family, and without notice, you find that you've been dumped. How do you face life again after this? What do you tell your family and friends? How do you deal with the stares and whisperings behind your back? Or the embarrassment you have to face when confronted with your relationship status? And that is just the public consequence. What about your overall health as a person, the state of your mind, your emotions, and your mental health? How do you deal with the pain and depression that will no doubt surface? All these are questions that might be running through your mind, and valid though they might be, they should not determine how the rest of your life would be. So quit hiding in the shadows and step out into the light. Hold your head high, walk straight, and be proud of who you are. That breakup might be your instrument of deliverance, your stepping stone to something better. You have been bound too long by a relationship that was not for you, and now an opportunity for your freedom has come in the form of a breakup. Perhaps you are not convinced and still feel the hurt and pain from that breakup. You might be asking yourself, is there someone else out there for me? Or would they be any better than the previous partner? Just take a pause. Look back into your previous relationship and check the current state of your life. Have things gone bad to worse, or do they seem to be getting better? These signs would tell you that breakup was good for you and you are going to meet the right one. Your previous relationship was a toxic one. It is difficult to understand why people choose to remain in toxic relationships, even to their detriment. Most people would rather stay and endure a relationship than risk losing that individual. It might be due to an unhealthy attachment or psychological problem, but the bottom line is that a toxic relationship is not good for anyone and would eventually leave one or both parties damaged. You sure do not want to be at the receiving end. The signs are always out there, but we sometimes fail to see them because we are blinded by love or have a need to validate our partners to ourselves or people around us. Do they talk you down, make you feel small and unimportant, revel in your dependence on them, or feed their ego with your insecurity? Do they have anger or trust issues? Do you feel a need to always defend them from other people? All of these are signs of toxicity in a relationship and should not be tolerated or managed. Any relationship where there is an abuse of any kind, be it emotional, physical, mental, psychological, or social, is not healthy. So if you happened to experience any of these in your previous relationship, a breakup is the best thing you could ever ask for. You are unique, beautiful, smart, and strong, and nobody should ever make you feel less. Nobody has the right. You see, God created you intentionally, and anyone that cannot see your worth and treat you as such does not deserve a place in your life. When you break up with such people, you have only succeeded in opening the path to meet the right person. You deserve better, and that is what you will get when you let go of that toxic relationship and partner. Your breakup should not make you sad or worried. Instead, you should celebrate your freedom and look forward to the next best thing. That breakup is a sign that you are going to meet the right person. When your basic needs are not met. Every individual has one or more basic needs, and it is for this reason that many go into relationships. There is a need for companionship, a need to be loved, to be acknowledged, to feel special and be cherished. If these needs cannot be met in a relationship, then what is the point of that relationship in the first place? You might have watched your friends get hooked up and become engaged with their sweethearts, spend time together with them, and blossom under the atmosphere of love. Where you used to meet up after work to discuss your activities during the day has suddenly become a lone spot for you, and you cannot help feeling envious. Then you meet someone who happens to sweep you off your feet, and for a while there, things could not have been any better. Then, after a few weeks, you are back where you started. To your lone spot without friends to talk to and your partner unavailable. All of a sudden, they do not seem to have your time. They do not check on you. They have suddenly become too busy with work and other things, and you are left to lick your wounds alone. It is like being in a relationship with you. It is even worse because you are technically engaged, a form of bondage, and still cannot enjoy the benefits of the relationship. A breakup is the only possible solution to this kind of situation, except if your partner changes. When you are better off alone than you were in that previous relationship, you might just be headed to meeting a better person. The good thing is that you have learned one or two things and are not prone to make the same mistakes again whenever you choose to be in another relationship. You become wiser with experience. As painful as bad experiences can be, such as a breakup, they usually serve as an avenue to become wiser if you are open to learning from your previous mistakes. It is possible to become carried away and be fooled by sweet words or fall for the charm of an individual without getting to know them personally. Most relationships entered this way usually do not last, and within a few weeks or months, there is a breakup. You do not need to beat yourself up about it. Anyone can make a mistake. The important thing is not to dwell on the past, but rather pick the few lessons you can and apply them in making future decisions. If you have been taken in previously by a beautiful face, charming smile, or mere physical look, there is a great chance that you have come to realize that beauty can be vain and there is more to a person than just their outward appearance. So, you would want to apply this knowledge when making your next choice. Rather than chase butterflies, you would be more intentional about the kind of person you become engaged to. You want to check if their beliefs are aligned with yours, if you have the same values, if you complement each other, and what they are like. These are things you would have ignored previously and not bother about, but as a result of your breakup, you become more knowledgeable. Moreover, the type of people we attract says a lot about the kind of person we are. Chances are that you will not make a mistake the next time and would meet the right person, one who is deserving of you. You experience peace after the breakup. A relationship where you cannot be at peace or have rest is not worth it. If you have been in a relationship where there has been more fighting than talking, arguments abound, and you always feel like you are walking on eggshells whenever your partner is around, you will no doubt be glad to be rid of that relationship. This state of your mind is important as it affects your overall wellness as an individual. If you feel more at peace in the absence of that person, then you are not supposed to be together at all. Ending that relationship could only be for the best. The problem with most of us is that we try to patch up things we know would not work out and endure relationships that are already headed for the rocks. Breakups are not always a bad thing. Two people could sometimes come together and, based on mutual agreement, decide to go their separate ways. You do not need writing on the wall or a soothsayer to predict the direction of your relationship. You can tell by the signs you see. Sometimes you need to let go of the old to get something new, and that is how it is with some breakups. That breakup you experienced might have just opened the door for your meeting with the right person. You have to open your eyes and your heart to new possibilities.